Okay, listen. Before you say anything, let me explain myself. Growing up, I used to adore My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I thought the stories were endearing and comforting, the visuals beautiful, and music breathtaking. Nowadays, I'm nowhere near as big of a fan of the show as I once was, and realize it's by no means perfect.
Look! Both the settlers and the buffalo have good reasons to use this land.
What the fuck?
This episode we'll be talking about is my personal favorite episode for one reason, which we'll get to. The episode starts off with Twilight, Starlight, and Spike on their way to the Crystal Empire to meet Cadance, Shining Armor, Fluttery Heart, and Sunburst. Don't know who or what any of those are? Tough luck. Do your homework. Twilight is excited about seeing her family and Starlight to see Sunburst. Spike, however, is nervous about going since he's regarded as a hero in the Empire and doesn't want to be mobbed by paparazzi and psycho fans. When they get there, it's like a ghost town until Spike disguises himself, to which he's mobbed by paparazzi and psycho fans. Until they notice Twilight and Starlight, which snaps them back to reality. They all run away, leaving our group befuddled. They make their way to the castle, and after being tested that they are who they say they are by doing the secret handshake thing, which I loathe, it's revealed that a changeling was spotted nearby, which is bad news. Fun fact, we can spot the changeling even before this episode at the end of the Crystalline Part 2, which implies that... Nope. Fuck. This should not be as hard as it is. Which implies that the event must have drawn into the Empire, which is confirmed in this episode. So naturally, they're checking everyone's identification and giving the baby extra protection. Spike is put in charge of the army due to his status as a two-time savior of the Empire and sets off to the borderlands of the Empire. Spike ends up separating himself from the army and has to find the changeling on his own. He nearly plummets to his death 5 seconds later, but is saved by a large spiked rock and finds himself in front of what he believes to be his own reflection, but obviously we know it immediately to be a changeling. They have a Garfield Tale of Two Kitties moment, or, if you prefer, a Family Guy funny moment. But of course, one of them ends up doing something the other didn't and reveals itself. Spike runs off terrified, to which we get the first time a changeling speaks real words other than Chrysalis, with the changeling pleading to with Spike.
No, wait! Come back!
Telling the audience that this isn't any ordinary changeling. Spike once again nearly plummets to his death, but is saved by a changeling, much to his surprise. The changeling explains himself. He says his name is Forax and that he only wishes to spread love rather than steal it. Spike believes him and goes to clear his name, but nobody believes him, so they come up with a plan B, which is to disguise Forax as one of the Crystal Ponies. After that is a montage of Forax warming up to the Crystal Empire and making connections for the citizens. All is looking well until Forax is invited to see the baby, and the love emanating from her causes Forax to lose control and accidentally reveal himself. Everyone now believes Forax to have stolen the place of Spike's friend, and Forax is desperately trying to explain himself, and Spike has to choose between Forax and the rest of his friends. Reluctantly, he picks everyone else, and Forax runs off in tears, betrayed. This starts a search for him, and Spike is the only one able to track him down. Forax has given up on being good, and Spike once more is about to plummet to his death, only now Forax isn't interested in saving him this time, and it isn't until Spike apologizes that Forax changes his mind. They go back to the Crystal Empire, where Spike swallows his pride and defends Forax of a song. Twilight says she's proud of Spike for sticking up for a friend, and Forax is finally welcomed to the Crystal Empire. Episode ends. This episode, compared to the rest of the series, is objectively not the best, and I'm fully aware it's nowhere near perfect. It has massive flaws throughout, yet I still consider it to be my favorite episode, and the one that I still go back to even after growing out of my My Little Pony phase. This episode struggles massively with pacing issues. 22 minutes may work well with a plot like the CMC is trying to get a grip in the cutie mark or something, but it's such a massive plot-changing moment? Hell no. This episode would have benefited massively with more time to breathe, because it feels super rushed and underdeveloped. The song is, without a doubt, the absolute fucking worst part about the episode. It is extremely cringe with dumb lyrics that, while we're fine enough in context of the episode, feel really out of place considering the rest of the show up to that point.
This changeling, it seems, knows the real me and would stay by my side.
Oh my god, who the hell cares?
It just doesn't feel right that Spike would claim a changeling. He's known a couple of hours would, quote, know the real me more than Twilight, who's known him literally since he was born. And then again, Twilight is pretty apathetic towards him most of the time, so maybe this day-long relationship is stronger than his and Twilight, which is really sad. Spike is just talking about himself mostly, and asking how Forax is any different from a regular person, which, I can probably think of a few reasons why. Plus, the whole point of his song is saying how anyone can change for the better, even one with an evil origin, but that does not apply to 4X in the slightest. It's just a complete shit song, and I'm not at all surprised it swayed nobody other than Twilight's fickle ass, who's ultimately the one who convinces everyone of 4X's good nature. The montage as well is really bad, I feel. Not as bad as Spike's song, but you know, it's still pretty lame. It's another reason why I feel a longer runtime would have done good, because then we would have gotten the proper time with 4X warming up to the Crystal Empire to make us, the audience, care more when he accidentally reveals himself. But instead, we get a shitty clip show where it's unclear how long it takes for him to be accepted to the Crystal Society. So for all we know, he could have been welcomed instantly or over the course of a few days. We never get to see him form any kind of relationship with anybody other than bystanders gawking at whatever he's saying. Then there's 4X's turnaround where it goes from furious, betrayed, heartbroken, and giving up on being good because Spike proved to him that no matter how kind he is, everyone will only ever see him as evil, so he may as well become what they believe him to be. Back to being good after a half-assed apology. Makes him seem more pathetic, unable to make up his own mind about anything, and once more, would have done good with a longer runtime. So why do I consider this my favorite episode? Well, it's because of 4X himself. I am a massive softie for the, quote, character from an evil organization who wants to be better and be a good person trope, which I'm sure has an official name, but I wouldn't even begin to know where to find that at. The entire series up to this point, changelings were always portrayed as these literal love-starved, heartless monsters who only looked out for themselves and their queen. Hell, like I said earlier, Chrysalis was the only changeling to even speak dialogue until 4X, and I'm not even counting any times changelings speak while disguised as other ponies, since it can be assumed that they're just communicating speech that they've heard like a parrot. Meaning this is the very first time an uncloaked drone changeling ever speaks, confirming that the drones do in fact have individuality and personhood, which for bug-like creatures make very little sense, but I digress. But 4X appears in much more episodes. Why cling to this one specifically? I hear you asking. Well, it's because this is where, in my eyes, this character peaks as this don't judge a cook by its blubber. Oh, damn. Well, it's because this is where, in my eyes, this character peaks as this don't judge a book by its cover character that gets destroyed later on when he becomes a husk of who he once was. I just would have appreciated more episodes of him in the Crystal Empire struggling to fit in and people avoiding him, and him having to prove himself to the Crystal Ponies and to gain their trust, same as it did with the others. But that's just wishful thinking, I suppose. Anyways, tell me what you all found of this video, and if you want more, I probably won't ever talk about the series at large after this. Rather, I may end up talking more about 4X or changing episodes, since they're by far my favorite aspect of the show, and I truly do not like how they handle the redemption of them. But that's another video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and subscribe to my Patreon for early access to videos. Check out all my socials linked in the description, and I'll see y'all in the future. Sometime. Probably. Maybe. Don't count on it.
Man, today's not my day.
Okay, so 18 packs of cocaine, 12 pounds of crack, and 7 male stripers. But make sure none of them are white. I can't see the coke on that.